Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Third and Wrong podcast, where takes are almost certainly wrong. We're back with another episode. Talking some would you rather and talking some NBA playoffs. So, yeah, getting started. How y'all doing? How y'all boys doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's talk some ball, man. Let's get right into this.
Let's get into it. This is definitely Jacob's stronger point instead of me and JJ. We don't really know too much about basketball or keep up
Whoa.
the
Speak
most.
for yourself, man.
We know basketball, but we don't know as much as Jacob does. So we're gonna let him take over. But we are excited for this.
Boys
And
don't know ball? Question mark? Is that what you just said?
don't know as much ball.
Doesn't know ball.
I'm not gonna lie. When I asked how y'all boys doing tonight, and neither of y'all responded, I was like, "We're cooked." It crashed.
I have my audio I
was waiting on
why.
Jake to go, and he was
went
just
so
staring
long.
down at the camera. So
I'm ready to go now.
All right. We're gonna start with some would you rather.
Restart?
We're starting with some would you rather. Who wants to go first on your would you rather?
I volunteer. All right. So this is obviously for you and Slade and JJ, or the audience too as well. Comment down, I guess. But the question is, would you rather I don't have it up in front of me I wrote it down, but basically would you rather your team make the playoffs and get destroyed in the first round, or your favorite team, or miss the playoffs and have a chance at a better draft pick? Which one would you rather?
I volunteer as tribute. This is literally just the Cowboys, and you made that because you're a Cowboys fan, and we go through this every single season. It's would we rather be the 7 seed and get demolished, or would we not want to make the playoffs?
Or the 2 seed and get demolished.
You know what I mean. We're first round exits no matter what happened. We would be the number 1 seed and still somehow find a way to lose in the first round. It would be quite miraculous what we could do. But honestly, I would probably say make the playoffs because, there's just such a vibe around making the playoffs. It's so sick leading up to it. Yeah, we have a playoff game coming up. Me and Jacob's been to a few of them, and it's so fun. But we were let down because we were at the Packers game 3 years ago and got killed in Dallas. It was quite miserable.
This story is worth telling. And then tell them what happened after that.
We were somehow caught in the worst winter storm Texas has ever seen and didn't get home until a day later than we were supposed to.
I remember we were at this hotel in a place. It was literally Palestine, Texas. If you're from there, shout out, because it can't be many of you. And we're in the hotel, and the lady at the front desk is literally ripping a cig, and we go, and it smells like straight cigarette in there. And we go in, we're like, man, this weather's rough. And she's like, I've been living here all my life. Worst, coldest I've ever seen it. And then just keeps going on about her day. And we just kind of look at each other. We're like, of course.
We left the night before we were supposed to, just to try to get home earlier and beat the storm out, and still got caught in it 2 hours later down the road.
It took us 22 hours to get home, I believe. We ended up having to go down all the way almost to New Orleans to go south to get out of the weather, and then we could start driving back east.
It was miserable.
We, at this time, all three of us lived together, and we were like, where are they?
South Carolina, for reference. In South Carolina all the way to Dallas, and then it's already just forever.
13 hours.
It is a hike.
It's already 14 hours. Ended up taking 22 just of driving time. I'm not talking about actual time on the road, 22 hours. All right, but anyways, we got a little off topic.
Crazy. All right, that story was worth telling. Anyway, got destroyed 48-20, and then drove for 22 hours home. So rough weekend. Rough weekend with the boys.
Good times.
Would you'll never forget it though. I would rather I think I almost would rather miss the playoffs.
Dang, really?
Maybe this is a Bills fan bias. Maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe that's what it is. But if we don't win in the first round, I'm like, what are we doing? right? Like what? Unless we like get matched up against the Chiefs in the first round or someone who I think is a legit Super Bowl contender. But man, like when it was like a close game against the Jags this year, I was like, there's no way we're about to lose to the Jags. Like this is not a Super Bowl contender. People were hot and bothered by the Jags, but I wasn't like convinced. But actually, I'm going back on my word. I'd much rather make the playoffs.
100%.
I don't want to be one of those bums sitting there not having to be able to watch my team.
It's also
the leading up to the playoffs, like that thrill you get, like you're like sitting at work and you're like, you just on your break or something, you just start thinking about it. It's like, man, 3 more days till Sunday. You're not even playing, you're just a fan.
I also feel like it needs a caveat. Is it like, do we know that we're going to be first round exits? Because if so, then it's not even fun to even watch.
I feel like we're thinking about it too much. I feel like
you can't know. No, I would rather we'd both rather make the playoffs.
It's like I've never once my team lose in the first round, which happens a lot, and then like afterwards be like, dang it, man, I wish we would have missed the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I actually like if we lose in the playoffs, it's like, all right, whatever.
Especially because I feel like for me, like especially if we're going Cowboys on it, I feel like genuinely people are gonna make fun of me for this, but like every time the Cowboys have made the playoffs, like I've genuinely thought they could win the Super Bowl. Like they've been like, it's like I know Slade said the thing about the set, but like every time we've made it, we always are like a division winner. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
this is our year.
Like you can't tell me that team 2 years ago though. Like why should we?
It's the stereotype.
Why should we not think we're going to win the Super Bowl that year as a fan? We were the 2 seed and we're really good on both sides of the ball, loaded with talent. Like we had every right to believe. Like everyone thinks their team's going to win the Super Bowl when the playoffs start.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on. Who's next?
We'll move on. I'll go next because I feel like Slade's is going to be better than mine. So
yeah, best for last.
I'm going to let him save for last. Mine is like very experiential. I think this is more fun than Jacob's was, but I don't know if it's as good of a question. Would you rather watch the walk-off home run for your favorite team in Game 7 of the World Series? Like, would you rather be there watching the walk-off home run or watch in person at the Super Bowl? And in both scenarios, you have incredible seats, okay? Or watch your team in the Super Bowl make a massive fourth quarter comeback to win the Super Bowl. In both cases, your favorite team wins. I know it's both their like exciting fashion, but what would you rather do?
I know what Slade's gonna go with, but I'm going with the walk-off homer. Just because, like, baseball is like my 1A as far as like team fandom. Like, I'm not gonna like run through like my list of teams and who I pull for. Like, that's just something that But not to bore anybody. But like, as far as like teams I pull for, I love them all. But like baseball, I'm a baseball guy first. I feel like MLB is like I'm a huge Guardians fan. As much as I love the Cowboys, I think I would rather see the Guardians hit a walk-off homer in the World Series, especially if I'm there. I don't know, man. It's hard. I love the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. Been a huge fan my whole life. Always be a huge fan. But I'm a baseball guy, man. It's baseball first for me. Like there's nothing I love more than the MLB playoffs. I would love to see Cleveland win one, man. God, they're so frustrating.
I can make an argument for either one. For baseball, at least, like me and Jacob grew up playing baseball, so we just have that like in our bones. But I am a NFL guy or football. I like watching football more than I do baseball on TV, at least. But for baseball, like if you see the walk-off home run, it's like one thing that happens and like the adrenaline just spikes. And it's like the biggest adrenaline high you'll have ever. But then again, in the NFL, if there's a fourth quarter comeback, you're still going to be like on edge, stressed out, whether other team's going to come back or keep holding you off or what's going to happen.
You're also going to hate your life for 3 quarters.
Yeah. But I think that's part of it. They always say you got to enjoy the journey before you get to the milestone or the checkpoint.
For me, it's like.
So I think it is NFL for me.
Like I love both sports. Like for me, like I think that something for me, I don't know how to describe it, But like if it's a close game in baseball and it's like getting into the latter innings, like when it's getting into those like 7th, 8th, 9th inning and those bullpen guys are coming, it's a close game. And this is any playoff game. So I can only imagine like World Series Game 7. I've got to witness one as a fan, believe it or not. Didn't end well. But anyways, like you feel it with every pitch, man, especially like being in the building. Like I promise you, I've watched plenty of football games where the Cowboys are like tied or a close game going into the 2-minute warning. I've watched plenty of like playoff baseball games where Cleveland's like tied in like the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. To me, it's way more stressful in the baseball game. It's like it can turn on every pitch. Like, especially like when we're playing the Yankees, for example, and like 2, 3, 4 coming up, and it was like Soto, Judge, and whoever, and Stanton a couple of years ago. It's like every pitch that like Hunter Gaddis threw, I'm like holding my breath, like, please don't hit a homer. Right. Whereas like football, I feel like you don't have that. Like, it's so intense, man. Like something about baseball. Yeah. Like when you get in those big moments and like pitchers getting out of big jams, to me, it's just my favorite sport, man.
So I actually think, I mean, obviously I would go with the football one here. I'm not a baseball guy. Like I don't have a team I'm bought in enough on in the MLB. I'm a Braves fan, but like I don't care that much. So I'm a Bills fan first. If you were the way it would even it out for me, and I think I would actually choose baseball, is if I was the one catching the ball. Because then I'd be a millionaire.
Now we're getting into like some Disney movie stuff at this.
Then I'd be a millionaire, bro. And then
this is like, yeah, that.
All right, bro. Let me dream. Let me dream, okay?
Hey, write it down, man. I'm telling you, if Walt was still alive, you could sell that to him. He'd write a movie about.
Nah. Hey, I'm just saying that's the only way you would even it out for me. That's how big the gap is. That's how big.
Yeah, I just imagine JJ just like home runs coming. Like JJ's just like at the game because he's like rich. He doesn't even care. It's like some little kid like coming over from the stands. He just hits him with his shoulder.
Zach Campbell.
The kid's like waiting to catch it. I like stick out my hat.
Kid's like crying. You're like going crazy. You hit the double high five and everyone around you. You know.
Oh,
I love those videos. I literally saw one the other day. Like I hate when like people post this and they're like, "This is awful." And it's like a kid crying, and it's like a grown man catching the ball, and he's like, "Whoa!" He's like high fiving and celebrating, or the kid's like right beside him. I feel like those videos are like, I don't know, man.
It's like you can't demonize the guy. Like he caught a ball at a game. It's awesome.
Hey, man, it's in my blood. See ball, get ball, man. I'm hunting it.
All right, Slade, hit us with your would you rather question.
All right. This one is like, I guess you could say is more of a fan or a GM, but would you rather have a young sensation on your team, such as in the NBA, Cooper Flagg, or in the NFL, Drake May, or a certified older like stud, like you got your guy? In the NBA, my comparison is like Nikola Jokic, or in the NFL, it's Matthew Stafford or Dak Prescott, somebody like that. It's hard in the NFL to get a fair comparison because the older guy's usually out the door. And so like somebody that's closer to retiring but still like playing great ball.
I like that question's like I feel like it can be so layered because a lot of it depends on like where your team's at, you know what I mean? Especially like when you're talking about team sports, because I don't know, like depends on like what spot your team's in. I feel like my team's not very good. I'd rather go with the guys. But like if my team's in a spot to where they're trying to win a championship, I feel like I would want to go with maybe the older guy. But also, I mean, you don't need an older guy to win a championship. Like we saw Drake May almost win a Super Bowl last year. So really it almost just kind of boils down to like which player is better. But also if it's like really close and like he's already really close to the older guy, I think I'd rather go young guy just because he's probably going to rise above what the older guy is. I feel like a good like NBA version of it would be like, would you rather have like Durant or Flagg? You know, like Durant's better right now, but would you rather have? I think most people would rather have Flagg. It just depends on the situation, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I speaking from a Bills fan perspective. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Josh Allen. So there's a perspective where it's like, of course, I don't want Josh Allen to go. The reason I'm comparing it to Josh Allen is because Josh Allen is like 30 years old. So
that's not that old, though.
I know, but he's getting to the age. Here's how I feel as a Bills fan. We got to get it done soon.
That's a fact.
we're in time crunch mode where it's like, hey, you're like there is not much time remaining. Whereas if you have a guy like May and you've just went to the Super Bowl basically on his back, right? I mean, that defense was really good too, but like he just played incredible. If you just went to the Super Bowl on it, like you feel really good about like, hey, we'll probably get one, right?
There's no
So, like,
hey, I bring up the Bengals in that scenario though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like Burrow's second year, you go. It's so hard to win, man. There's no guarantees. If you get there, you got to get it done. That's how I feel about Super Bowls and championships in general.
Yeah, I think I would probably go if I'm taking out like the sentimental part of it of like I love the old stud player. Like there's just a lot more green grass in front of us where like I'm feeling the tension of like Brandon Beane is a horrible GM. Josh Allen is like coming to the end of his prime. Like we've got probably 2-3 more years of prime Josh Allen. After that, it's going to be like, hey, the mobility is probably going to decrease. We're probably going to be entering like Big Ben phase of the career where like he's still a rumbler and a tumbler, but like he's going to have to stand in the pocket a little bit more. Things are just going to change. And like, I don't know that our ceiling is as high at that point. And so I'm feeling the tension of like, hey, as soon as the Allen era is done, it's like we are going to be in a full rebuild because we're just punching that contract back each year. And maybe I'm thinking about it too much, but I would say I'd rather have the young stud.
Like real quick before we move on, last thing I will say that I think the thing that like terrifies me the most as a Cowboys fan is because you see it all the time. Is once Dak like gets done playing, like he moves on, I'm scared. Like I feel like there's always that fear you're going to be one of those teams that it takes like 15 years to find your next franchise quarterback. You get so spoiled, like especially as Cowboys fans. We haven't won a Super Bowl. When you go from Romo to Dak, you have two really good franchise quarterbacks back to back. This is kind of like off topic, but I get scared. Like maybe Dak retires. Maybe it takes us 8 years to find the next guy. It's so hard to find a franchise quarterback. But a little off topic.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the Browns have been working on that since we were born. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as easy as the Packers make it look.
Who retired?
Ozzie Newsome or something, I think, right?
Jim Brown. After Jim Brown retired, they were looking for the next guy.
Browns haven't had a good quarterback since football players didn't wear a face mask. It's like a leather bucket on your head.
All right. Well, we're going to move on from Would You Rather. We're going to jump into our NBA playoff predictions. Again, keep in mind, we made these before we started round 2. So keep that in mind as you see the predictions. And yeah, we'll start out with Jacob's predictions. The ball, we got to give the ball knower the ball first, right? So we're going to go to Jacob's predictions.
You got to swing the rock to the best man, you know?
Yeah, for real. You gotta, if you're trying to win the game, you're gonna give your ball to your best player, bro. So take it away, man. Here's your prediction.
Give it to LeBron James.
I appreciate the alley, but my ball knowledge on the NBA, like, actually isn't even that good. I feel like just in comparison, I feel like
they don't know that. They don't have to know that.
I feel like you guys do a good job of making me look good because you watch the little NBA. You know what I mean? But anyways, here we go. NBA playoff predictions. So in the second round, we have the LA Lakers and we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. So we can start there. Both teams obviously won their first round matchups. OKC in a sweep. LA won in 6, I believe, right? Yeah, the Rockets won 2 more games. I would say LA is probably the most surprising series of the first round. I thought the Rockets were going to win that series in 5 games, to be honest with you. That was my prediction before the playoffs. Then the Durant news comes out, and then, like, the Durant stuff was kind of weird to me, man. Like, he doesn't play game 1. Then there's, like, reports coming out, like, during the playoffs, like, Durant's, like, basically already saying he's moving on. He's, like, quit on the team. The Rockets were just bad vibes, man. Like, they didn't have a true ball handler. So not to spend too much time on the first round. But the Lakers end up getting that done. To me, again, I made a video, like, before the playoffs, like, the Orlando Magic were the most – I would honestly flip that with the Rockets after that first round. It was that bad. They had NBA championship aspirations. You're the 2 seed last year. You add Kevin Durant. You expect to go win an NBA championship. Nightmare season for Houston. Like, honestly, nightmare season. So, Lakers get it done there. And then the fighting Colin Gillespie's and the Phoenix Suns just never stood a chance. They had a really good season. Phoenix is actually in a nice spot. They go from being like And Colin Gillespie actually had a really, really great season, by the way. It's just kind of a running joke. He had like a minus 100 plus minus like the first game of that series. We were like kind of like doffing on him. But he actually had a really good year. But anyways, off topic. Phoenix is in a much better spot than they were last year. They go from a team that was one of those like I feel like they're one of like the last versions, one of the last teams to kind of try out that like super team method. And maybe we see some more of that in the future, but it's kind of been proven the last few years not to work as well as maybe it did. Like, I feel like LeBron James and like that Miami Heat team kind of started that trend. And then, Golden State kind of fiddles in. Durant goes there. They start winning. Right. So, Phoenix tried that out. We saw Brooklyn try it out. We've seen multiple teams try it out. Phoenix took that route. It resulted in a first-round exit, and it resulted in, like, the worst defense in the NBA. They were horrible. This year, they make a couple moves. You bring in Dylan Brooks. You let a couple of the young guys play like Colin Gillespie, and they were much better. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs this year. I expected them to be horrible. They weren't. They were much, much better on defense this year. They were actually pretty fun to watch, and they're actually in a decent spot for the future, but not near at the level to compete with OKC. OKC and the Lakers. Doncic is not going to play. So without Doncic playing, I don't think this is much of a series. I think OKC, I gave them 5 just because I feel like a sweep's a little disrespectful to Bron. Like, I'll give Bron a game.
No, Bron's been fantastic. Did not. You gave them 4.
Did I really?
Yes, you gave them 4.
Maybe sorry, Bron. I'm disrespecting them. Dude, when your average margin of victory, they beat them by like an average margin of victory of 27 points in the regular season and swept them. And then they turned around and spanked them by like 27 in the first game of the series. The Lakers could pick up one. I think it'd have to be at home. And it'd just have to be OKC plays really, really bad. And maybe Reeves gets you like 40. Or like it's a Bron game where Bron gets you like 38 or something like that. Reeves coming off the injury. He's been okay. Actually, he hasn't been great, but he's coming off an injury. But still, he's got to be better. OKC's just much better. They defend at a higher level. Their offense is much better. They're just a well-oiled machine, man. They run out 10, 11 guys that they play defense. They play defense with their hair on fire. 82 games of the year, and then just amplified in the playoffs. When Shea's rolling and you have all those guys around him hitting shots, it's just they're the best team in the NBA. And the Lakers have proven this year, even with Doncic, they're just clearly not at that level to compete with this team. It's just not a fair fight. They're just a much better team, man.
I actually disagree. I think if Luka was playing, they could compete.
I think they could play him 100 times in a 4-game series. I don't know if they get him. Like, I think it's that. Like, that's extreme. That's being like they're so much better. Like, Doncic, his worst games of the season were against OKC. Even in that run, the midst of that run where he was scoring like 100 points a night, he gets injured in that OKC game. He had like 8 points. Like, I bet he's shooting under 25% versus OKC this year.
That's pretty bad.
He just gets completely – they're just so good on defense. And they're so good. They're great on both sides of the ball. They're the best team in the NBA. They're the champs. Yeah. So I got them in 4. Going to the next round, got Minnesota and
I got a question. Yeah, banking off of kind of what Jacob said, he's going to give the breakdown of all the first rounds, and then me and JJ are kind of going to give our predictions of what's going to happen in the second round, and then just bank off him a little bit, just to give him a little break on talking. So, yeah, I agree with Jacob. I do think OKC beats the Lakers pretty handedly. I do think they're going to be in 5 games. They're going to win in 5 games. I'll give LeBron 1 game. Jacob, you said you were, and then you didn't. So I'll give LeBron that 1 game of winning.
He hates the GOAT.
I just think I'm with you. I think OKC is just the most well-balanced team in the league. Their depth is unimaginable how good they are. You could take the 9, 10, 11 guys on their team and put them on almost any other team, and they'd be like a 5, 6 guy, right? So I do think OKC wins. I will give the Lakers 1 game. I wish Luka was playing. I love Luka. Played for my Dallas Mavs. However, the last team to beat OKC in the playoffs was our Dallas Mavericks 2 years ago before we blew everything up. So keep that in mind. Luka's not playing, so it don't matter. But for future reference.
That's right. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, I really wanted to believe in the dream of – like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when the Lakers Rockets series started, or when it like came out that they were playing the Rockets, Luka started to get hot late in the season. They started playing the Rockets, and it was like, oh, Luka and Reeves are out. They've got no chance. And then LeBron James took over and was just like cooking. He was getting all kinds of assists. Like they were playing some scrappy ball. They get the Rockets down 3-0. And then after game one, it was like, hey, Luka could come back soon, and so could Reeves. And I was like, goodness. Like what legendary stuff this would be if LeBron goes and takes one more before he hangs them up. And guys, the dream is gone. The dream is gone. Like there is no chance they beat these guys on the Thunder, man. Like I gave them I said it could happen in 6, man. Like I think they might get a few scrappy games in there.
You're dreaming.
Bronny's gonna take over.
And I'm okay.
And I'm not talking about LeBron. I'm talking about Bronny.
But I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect the GOAT like you guys are. I'm giving him 2 games, okay? And there's nothing you guys can do about it.
You think Bronny's gonna have like a 20-point game?
Yeah, probably like 3 of them.
Yeah, because they're going to be down by so much. He's going to play the whole second half.
Hey, now I believe they could get a couple. Like I believe they could have a huge Reeves night, a huge Kennard night, Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton doing their thing. Like they could play some scrappy basketball, and they can win a game. They could win 1 or 2.
Look, you know how I said earlier about the Disney movie? If the Lakers beat OKC in this series, it deserves a 13-part Netflix series just on this specific series.
I can't tell you how happy I would be. I used to hate LeBron, like as a child. I love him now. I love him. Like I would love for him to win this game.
It's just so funny. Like, you know, the OKC like announced their starting lineup. They're like rolling out the Avengers, then it goes over to the Lakers side, and it's like Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard. Like both, and they were both fantastic in the Rocket series. That's what was like crazy. Like Smart played unbelievable in that Rocket series. It's like, man, like, but still, like,
what makes you remember why Marcus Smart was like a good player on a championship team?
Sure, he also, I mean, he won a Defensive Player of the Year. He was a stud, but not the same player anymore. But
yeah,
shout out for him for turning back the clock in the first series.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, you take us into the Wolves Spurs game.
So next series we have, I think this is the series I was most excited for going into the second round, especially when I heard the news Ant was back. I wasn't too excited about it when I thought Ant was out, to be honest with you. I don't think they had much of a shot. First off, quick Timberwolves talk. Every year with the Timberwolves, I don't even think it should be a thing. I feel like every year with the Timberwolves, they'll get a first-round matchup, and it's a thing like, well, I just have this opinion. Like, I just kind of breeze over the Wolves series. I remember a couple years ago with Phoenix. They're playing Phoenix in the first round. Don't think anything about it. We think Phoenix is going to roll through that. They end up sweeping them. Last year with the Lakers. Lakers have Luka. It's the 4-5 matchup. Lakers are supposed to win that series. Everyone kind of just breezes over it. They end up beating the Lakers in 5. Same thing this year. I didn't think much about the Wolves beating the Nuggets, and that's my fault because this is a really good basketball team, and they really turn it on in the playoffs. So they end up beating Denver in 6, and they did it without Anthony Edwards the last 2 games of this series, which is just unreal. When you have Tarek Shannon Jr. putting on the performance he did, you have Ayo Dosunmu putting up a 40 ball. Now he's injured, by the way. They played that last game of that series, that closeout game, without Dosunmu, Anthony Edwards, or Dante DiVincenzo, who knows, out for the year. Unbelievable by them. And then Ant, who they said is going to be out multiple weeks, ends up coming back. This is the most intriguing series of the second round. It really is, because you can't look back. You can't look past Minnesota. As good as San Antonio is, San Antonio, by the way, we talk about OKC. One, they're dang near as good as Oklahoma City is right now. I mean, they won the regular season series against them. They may be just as good right now. As scary as Oklahoma City is, I'm not even kidding you when I say this. I think the Spurs 2 years from now could be even better than what OKC is.
Yeah,
when you look at what they have, when you look at what they have depth-wise, and as far as how young they are, it's unreal. Like you have the 6th man of the year in Keldon Johnson, which I feel like when you talk about the Spurs, he's like the 6th guy you bring up, which ironically is 6th man of the year, but he's like the 6th guy you bring up, and he just won 6th man of the year. So I feel like if I'm talking about the Spurs, it's like, oh, Victor Wembanyama. obviously MVP candidate. And it's like, and man, they have De'Aaron Fox. Like, I kind of like forget De'Aaron Fox plays for him. Stephon Castle is a future All-NBA player. He's that good. He's unbelievable on both sides of the ball. His offensive game is going to get – he already made a huge year 1 to year 2 leap, and he won Rookie of the Year last year that takes a big leap, especially with his offensive game. Dylan Harper is going to be a star. That's an all-star in this league. Like, the fact that they had the luxury because they're so good to be able to ease him in to the NBA this year and didn't start, came off the bench. I mean, his shooting percentages rocketed up in the second half. He's going to be a star. Like, he was a can't-miss prospect. Was drafted second overall, and he fell in their lap. It's a future all-star. Like, he'll be starting for them next season. He's a future 20-plus point per game guy. And then you have Devin Vassell, who at any moment can win you a game, can go. He's like a microwave. Like, he'll just have moments where he takes over games. Champagnie hits a lot of shots. They obviously have size with Wembanyama and Cornette. They're unbelievable. Like, they have the depth. They're kind of built a lot like Oklahoma City, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Except that it's a little different because their centerpiece is obviously Wembanyama and not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're different players. But obviously they're terrific on defense. They have the best defender I've ever watched play, I'm going to be honest. I've never seen a player more imposing in the paint than Victor. Like, guys will – I said this last pod, but when you watch the Spurs play, it kind of starts off the game where guys are driving in there, then they get blocked a couple times, and by that point, it's completely altered the game. And you have guys that are good at going at the rim who almost seem like they're scared to even go in there and just completely – like, he alters every shot in the paint.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I picked the Spurs to win this. What did I have them in? I picked the Spurs. Was it in 6 or 7?
In 6.
6? I have them in 6. So – Minnesota gets one on the road, game 1. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You did it. Hey, that is not our fault.
Yeah,
hey, just like we gave you an alley earlier, thanks for giving us that one, man.
Hey, you're welcome. That's what I do.
All right, let's go to Slade's picks.
Yeah, so Jacob hit the nail on the head right there. The Spurs, this Spurs Timberwolves matchup is, I think, the best in this second round. I just think it's the most well balanced, but also like the most exciting to watch. Just because the other ones, I feel like one of the teams probably going to take over and just win pretty easily. But the Spurs Timberwolves, I just feel like, I don't know, there's something about this series, man. I just got a good feeling about it. So I got the Spurs winning in 7. Like you said, going off what you said about Wembanyama, him defensively in the paint is like one of the most incredible things I've ever watched in my life. It's special to watch.
Last game.
It's so fun to watch because people like Ant, Rudy Gobert, people like that thrive in the paint are going to have to switch up something. They're going to have to do something completely different just to be able to win this game and keep them in it. Yeah. But like you also pointed out, Keldon Johnson. What I think is so special about this team is 2 or 3 years ago, Popovich gave Keldon Johnson the keys to the team and said, "You're going to be our guy. We need to run this offense and this team through you." And then 3 years later, he is the 6th man of the year. He took that step back for the team to be better. And if you got players like that on the team, especially nowadays when everybody's selfish and wants the most money, wants to be the big name, the big star, if you got players like that on your team, you got something special. And like you said, with him being the 6th man and 5th, 6th option on that team, I just think they're so deep that they could contend with OKC. But I do have the Spurs in 7. This series is going to be so fun to watch. You got Ant, you got Wemby, you got Stephon Castle, like you pointed out. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited.
Think about how far they've come. Literally 3 seasons ago, Jeremy Sohan was starting at point guard for this team.
Yeah.
Like Popovich, kind of to your point, like we're going to try this. Sohan doesn't log NBA minutes anymore. He was starting at point guard for this team 3 years ago. And now they are a legit NBA championship contender. So shout out to that Spurs front office for just nailing draft picks 3 straight years. Their first round draft picks have been Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and then Dylan Harper. So big props to them. Unreal job.
Unreal. Yeah. Keldon Johnson is I think he should win Walter Payton Man of the Year, personally. That might be a hot take. But
Can't get these takes anywhere else.
That's why you come to the show. Third and wrong. All right. No, Spurs, Wolves. Yeah, this is the series I'm most excited for. Personally, I don't know if this is just bias. I love Ant-Man, man. Like he's just fun to watch. And any playoff series that he's in, like I feel like if you had to give me all the playoff series and be like which one's most likely to go to game 7, like I'm picking the one with Ant in it because he's like, I feel like he rarely like just like sweeps people, and he's always in these like super exciting games, hitting game-winning shots. I love me some Ant-Man. But I did pick the Spurs. I think they're just better overall, like we've been talking about. No need to rehash it.
Well-oiled machine, man.
Yeah, well-oiled machine. But here's what I'll say: I would not be surprised if the Wolves won this series in dramatic fashion, especially if it's a game 7. Like, man, game 7, anything can happen, and there's a lot of playoff inexperience on the Spurs side of the ball. I know that didn't cost them against the Blazers, but the Blazers did better against them than I thought they would.
This series reminds me a lot. Slade referenced that Mavs OKC series a few minutes ago. Reminds me a lot of that series in that it's a team that kind of came out of nowhere to be really good. Not out of nowhere in a sense that they made the playoffs, but out of nowhere that they went from missing the playoffs the year before to being the 2 seed. OKC literally missed, lost in the play, and then became the 1 seed.
Right.
I think OKC was the better team the year the Mavs beat them, but I think some inexperience kind of came back when you have Doncic and Irving on the other side. They were almost like a year away. Right. I could see that being the case with San Antonio, where they're the better team, but they're maybe a year away. But selfishly, too, I also just really want to see San Antonio and OKC in the conference finals. But
pretty awesome.
I'm with you on that.
Pretty awesome. All right, let's go to the next game. I'll let Jacob tell us about these Knicks, man. You love these Knicks.
I think the Knicks are awesome. I picked the Knicks. How many games did I have them in, JJ? I can't
5.
believe I'm forgetting them. 5. I had the Knicks in 5. So I really love New York, man. I love Philly. Joel Embiid, you can ask Slade this. Slade, my whole life has like questioned this. Like it does. I love Joel Embiid. He's been one of my favorite players like forever since he came to the league. Like every year in the playoffs. So to be like, dude, why? Like no one liked. Like how can you like the Sixers?
Like, such a random infatuation he had with this team.
And I loved them. Like I would, especially when they got Harden too. It's 2 of my favorite players ever, and I would like want the team to win so bad. I also hate Boston. So when they won that, like when Joe Mazzulla rolled out that starting 5, he rolled out in Game 5, and I saw Ron Harper Jr. and Luka Garza sprinting out. I almost shed a tear. Like I was like, "This is beautiful." I can't. And then they shot like 53s, and then Philly comes back from 3-1. It was awesome, but I also knew, pulling for the Sixers as long as I have, not even as a fan. I knew they were done. I feel like an honorary fan in a sense that almost felt like their NBA championship in that first round. And I thought they were going to get smacked, and they're getting smacked so far. They're down 2-0. So we'll see. Embiid getting hurt obviously doesn't help. I hope he's back. God, man, I mean, you can't make it up. But the Knicks are just better, man. I mean, the 76ers, they almost won Game 2. I think they can compete. It's going to be hard to come back from 2-0. I'm not completely writing it off. The 76ers starting 5 is unbelievable. They don't have like as good a depth as some of the other teams, which New York's not super deep either, but I still even like there's 2 really good starting 5s, but I like New York's better anyways. New York's a really good team. I think it's their year. They lost in the semifinals a couple years, lost in the conference finals last year. I think the East is weak. I think they're the best team in the East, and I'm not trying to foreshadow anything, but which I guess you can see it anyways. I think they're the best team in the East. So I think they take care of business. They're rolling right now too, man. Like they went down 2-1 to Atlanta. They've won what is that? 5 straight games now after being down 2-1.
That's
and then
crazy.
A few of them in dominant fashion. Like they've been boat racing people. Like Brunson, as good as he already is the definition of a playoff riser. He is everything you want out of your superstar in the playoffs, like clutch shots, high volume scoring. He's unbelievable. And then you have They defend at a higher rate this year. I don't know, man. They're a really good team. They're a really exciting team. I think that the trade they made last year, it's worked out for both sides, but I think the trade they made last year to bring in Karl-Anthony Towns was such a good move. And again, I know it's worked out for both teams, but I still think like I would rather be on New York's side of it. So,
right. Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take.
Congrats to them though. After the year they had last year, to then make the playoffs this year, and then beat Boston in the first round. But I feel bad. Philly's not in a great spot future wise. I know they have Edgecombe. Like, that was a great pick. VJ was fantastic, but Paul George, that contract is bad. Like, I like Paul George, and he's actually played really well in the playoffs. But when you're talking about Paul George, and you're talking about if Paul George gets 16 points and goes 4 for 6 from 3, that's a great game for him.
You're
like
thrilled.
He's like that. That is his role right now. Like, his role is like he's basically just a shooter. Like, he can't beat anyone off the bounce anymore. He is not. Like, he's his age, like, it's weird. Old. Like, he had a really good year. He's 36 now, just turned it. He had a really good year in LA before he got here. And then he can't beat anyone off the bounce anymore, man. Like, he's just a shooter. And he shot the ball great, but when Paul George, it's just not, like, that's not what they paid him to do. Like, you could, I don't know, man. It's kind of sad. And then Embiid can't stay on the floor. They're in tough spots. 2 bad contracts.
Slade, you have the very same prediction.
Yeah, I was about to say I completely and fully agree with Jacob on this one. I just think Knicks are in a better spot. You got healthier players. You got a more well-balanced team. I feel like they win in 5. I mean, like I said, I don't know why Jacob has this crazy infatuation with the 76ers and Joel Embiid. I've always questioned that. I love Tyrese Maxey. I like VJ Edgecombe. But then you also got Paul George, who I think should be in a nursing home. And then you got Joel Embiid, who should have a personal suite in Philadelphia Regional Hospital at this point.
He probably does.
It's got to be named after him or something. The Joel Embiid Memorial Hospital or something, I like you said, Jacob, I just don't think they're in a good spot going forward. You got 2 young studs, but then outside of that, you really have – I think they still have Kyle Lowry on the team. I saw that the other day. Kyle Lowry is still on that team. I love Kyle Lowry from Toronto base, but it's just like, what are we doing? We gotta reset, get younger, move on from these contracts, or tell them to retire, do something. I don't know.
The definition of what Philly has been and Embiid's career has been is that he's healthy coming down the stretch. He's load managed all year to get ready for the playoffs. He's playing not the best basketball of his career, but he's playing like at a borderline MVP level, and then his appendix ruptures. Like, that's the definition of what, like, his kind of career and what it's been for the 76ers. Like, I'm serious. Like, how you can't make it up.
No,
they load managed him all year for this moment. And then his appendix ruptures. Like, I feel terrible for it. Like, I hate it for him, man. Like, you can tell he is such a competitor. And he played maybe that Game 7 performance by him is maybe the best playoff performance of his career.
Crazy.
And he just can't catch a break, man. Like, I don't buy into the narrative that, like, he's weak and lazy and stuff. I just think that's just a big man that probably shouldn't be moving the way he does, and it's hard to stay healthy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
people who say that kind of stuff when players get injured is crazy. Like, he's weak. He doesn't do anything. Like, it's crazy.
If he's missing a playoff game, he's hurt, man. Like, he must be hurt. But, like, and then the definition of it, though, like, I saw the report of the injury. It was like Joel Embiid, ankle and hip, out Game 2. Like, it's everything. Like, it's never just like
full body.
It's like it was like 3
neck
things.
Down.
Like, can't make it up, dude. Like, it's just
Well, with all that being said about the Sixers, I believe in them.
It's not a terrible pick.
You won't pick the Sixers, Jacob? I will. I'll do it. I'll do it. I volunteer as tribute, and I will pick them because, hey, sometimes, guys, come on. Hey, sometimes you just got to pick a team off the vibes. Like, you just got to, like, the vibes were good coming out of Boston. Vibes were good, bro. And I also, like, thought, like, the 76ers showed who they were, and the Celtics were the Celtics were a team that I thought they were the best team. Like I thought they were my favorites in the East. My championship would have been Celtics versus Thunder. And so when they took down the Celtics, I'm like, man, I think they can beat anybody. Embiid's playing the best ball that I feel like I've ever seen him play. I mean, he's definitely had better games, right? Like he's almost scored. He was going to score 100 that game, but like not like in a prime time moment when it mattered, right? Like it was a big deal against the team that no one thought you guys were ever going to beat. Down 3-1 in a series, game 7. Like it's just a big deal. And I was riding that wave. And man, the wave might be done. But it's not done yet.
It is going back to the sea. It's already crashed and it's going back.
Hey, like you guys, the dream's not over. Okay. If Embiid and LeBron both come out of this round of the playoffs, guys, we are going to, you guys better be like buying me presents.
You ever been out in the ocean and you're like boogie boarding, like with your friends, and like you look out and you see a wave in the distance, you're like, this is the one, man. You're like getting ready, you're like on the board, and then it gets to you, and it's just like one of those ones that just like lifts you up. And that's the wave we're speaking of right now. That's the so-called wave in the 70s. Like, it looks exciting, and then it gets there, and it's like, man, this like sucks. Like really bad.
JJ's at like a kiddie wave pool, like at a water park or something. It's just like
either that or a tsunami, like whichever like extreme route you want to go. Like either way, not a fun wave. You know what I mean?
Either way, not a fun wave. That's good stuff. All right, take us into this last series, Jacob.
So last series we have in the East here, we have Detroit, we have the Cavs. I actually do remember I picked the Detroit to win in 7 in this series. The Cavs infuriate me, man. Like that's how I'm going to lead off this segment. The Cavs absolutely infuriate me. Like the roster, James Harden has been poo after like the first 2 games of the playoffs. Like we came on here and we just talked about like sung his praises, talked about how like awesome he was. He's been terrible since then. Like I'm going to be honest, he was terrible again tonight. They lost again, by the way. They're down 2-0. I was looking at it while we were. He just hasn't been good, man. I know he's aging, but like this feels like almost maybe his last shot to, if he's ever going to win a championship, which he'll be playing somewhere different next year, probably like on the OKC or something. I don't know. Like he'll demand, and I love James Harden, but he hasn't been great. Donovan Mitchell has been worse for his standards. Like he had a better game tonight. Donovan Mitchell is a guy who has been a playoff riser in his career. Did not play well. They dang near lost to the Raptors. Raptors aren't a bad team by any chance. That's a team that Cleveland roster, though, should be handling. They should be handling that roster. Like that should be a clear better team than Toronto is.
100%.
And they're just not, man. It reminds me a couple years ago when they played Orlando, where it's like they should be able to handle Orlando, and then they win in 7 games in the first round. They make me mad. Like Jared Allen he'll go for 22 and 20, then he'll score 4 the next night. Kind of same with Evan Mobley. Mobley, who I feel like I'm kind of worried about Evan Mobley. Like he's a really good player, and there's nothing wrong with the career he's going to carve out. But I don't think he's going to get to the point that we maybe thought. I feel like with Evan Mobley, he was really good as a rookie, and we're kind of like, he kind of was this prospect that everyone thought was kind of going to add a jump shot and be able to do a lot of things off the dribble. And he's just not that. And I think at this point, like, is he going to be that? I don't think so. I feel like we kind of thought he was going to be this guy, like, he's going to be able to beat you off the bounce. Like, that's the next stage of development for him. He doesn't have that. He got better. This was the best season of his career. He took a little baby step. But he's kind of the same. Like, he's definitely a better player than Jared Allen, which Allen's a good player too, don't get me wrong. Like, Allen's kind of a one-trick pony, you know what I mean? Like, he'll get some rebounds. He'll catch some lobs. He's not a guy you can play through. You know what I mean? Like, you can play through Mobley at times. Like, he's definitely a more skilled offensive player. Then he'll have a really good game, and then he'll have a clunker. So they make me really mad. Mitchell hasn't been near good enough. I feel like he's not playing with the urgency I need to see out of you.
Sure.
Like, you have a chance to win the East. Like, step on the gas. Like, especially when at times where it seems like with Mitchell in the past with the Cavs, like 2 years ago, for example, they're playing Boston. They have no chance to win that series. He's dropping like 40 a game. this team has a chance to win the East, and he's not playing well. He's having maybe the worst playoffs of his career, even counting his Utah days where he was fantastic in the playoffs. So they make me upset just because of that. Going into it, I picked them to win the East coming into the playoffs. That's how much I thought of them. That's how highly I thought of them. And then after that Toronto series, it made me so mad. I was like, I'm not picking them. I'm picking Detroit. And they're down 2-0. So it's just
spiteful pick. I get it. Hey, 7 games though. You believe a little bit.
They could definitely. They got to go win both in Cleveland. I'm gonna be honest. They got to go get back to Detroit 2-2.
Which they could. They could. Slade, you went the other direction.
Yeah, and it's looking less and less likely by the minute.
I feel good about it.
With Jacob breaking the news that they just lost the second game, they're down 2-0. They will have to sweep out, and I just don't see that happening. The reason I picked the Cavs in 6, though, is because, first of all, like Jacob said, going into this, I had the Cavs winning the East. I thought they were the most well-rounded and playing the best ball out of everybody in the East. But, like you said, Jacob, Toronto gave them a scare. But also, you know who else gave them a team a scare? The Magic, who should not have given them a scare. The Magic gave the Pistons a scare, which scared me so much that I did not think the Pistons would even make it past the first round. And so with that, I did pick the Cavs. I do think the Cavs still could pull it out. With them being down 2-0, probably less likely. I'm still going to ride them because why not? I just don't think the Pistons are a team where, like, they're going to go out and their defense is going to stop you. Their offense might not be on. And if their offense ain't on and they're scoring like 80-something points, it's pretty hard to win a basketball game.
Yeah,
scoring 80 points.
Yeah.
If you ain't got your shooters, that team just really can't get nothing going. So, yeah, I got the Cavs in 6, looking less likely, but I'm still going to ride them. I think they're better overall.
Yeah, I'm in a similar spot. I had the Cavs in 7. I just really believed in the Cavs, man. I still do. I think they're such a good team if they can just figure it out. I will say this. I have it going to 7 because I could easily see the Pistons winning it. Of the teams that would be like most fun to see win the championship, in my opinion, of the teams that would be most fun, in my opinion, Lakers top the list. It's not going to happen. We already discussed this. It's not going to happen. Lakers top the list. I would love to see like LeBron and Luka win a championship. Would be awesome.
Stop it.
It's not going to happen. Detroit Pistons, number 2. Like, it would be awesome. It would be awesome to see like the Pistons just win it with, like, in the grand scheme of things, looking back years from now, we're going to be like, who were those bums? Oh, Cade Cunningham. I know who that is. Right? Like in years from now, I feel like that's how we're going to feel. And so, like, it would be awesome to see them win playing that way. Jalen, give Jalen Duren his flowers. Give Asar Thompson his flowers. Like, they're good players. But in the grand scheme of things, if you look back 20 years from now, most people aren't going to remember those guys. And so I think that would be cool.
I think Cunningham is like MVP type.
Oh, yeah. Player. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody will know who Cunningham is.
Jalen Duren has been boo-boo, by the way. Boo-boo.
Look, I didn't talk enough about Detroit. I just spent the whole time. Don't get me wrong. This pick was more so me. I'm not going to lie and say that I picked this. This pick was more about me disliking Cleveland than it was liking Detroit. This isn't disrespect to Detroit. Cleveland has no excuse to lose this series. They shouldn't. Like, you look at the rosters, Cleveland should win this series, but they're not going to. One, I thought going into it, Cade Cunningham was going to be the best player on the floor, just from what I've seen out of Mitchell and what I saw out of Cunningham in the first round. Like, Mitchell was just he was bad, and Cunningham was fantastic. And then when you stack up that, and they're really comparable after that. They're teams that defend really well. They're teams that have a star player at guard or star players at guard in the Cavs sense. And they have a lot of shooters around them. And they have like these big guys down low that you can throw the ball into who can't really stretch. These bigs that can't really stretch the floor that they can throw it to in the paint. Also, shout out to Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris has outplayed James Harden in the playoffs. I'm not even kidding when I say that. Go look at it. It's not close. Like, he's scoring over 20 a night. Like, how good he has been in the playoffs for Detroit has been unbelievable. For a guy who takes a lot of heat in his career, especially for his time in Philly, he has been a big, big reason they were able to come back. And also a big reason, like, I don't know what he did tonight. I can go look. But he's a big reason that they're in the spot they're in right now. He had 21 tonight, 21 and 7 on 9 for 16 shooting. So just continue.
He was a great player on my NBA fantasy team one year. The only year I ever
Shout out to Tobias, man.
Shout out
he's
to
been unbelievable. So,
all right, real quick. We've talked for a while. I feel like we've given a good pulse on how we feel about each of the teams. So I don't feel the need to like break down the series that like might happen, might not. I'll just give the rest of my predictions. I have the Thunder beating the Spurs in 6 in the Western Conference Finals. And then I have the Cavs beating the Sixers in 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then I have the Thunder winning the finals, going back to back, man, in 6 games. So that's my final predictions. They're not looking good, not at all. But hey, you got to believe in the dream sometimes, okay? And I believe Lakers versus Pistons in the championship. I believe it to be true.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do the same thing JJ just did. As well, I got OKC beating the Spurs. I think I got them in 6? Is that what that says?
6. Yep. Indeed.
Yeah, I've got them in 6. I just think the Thunder are here to stay. I just think they're a dynasty, which is sad to say. I hate them, but I just think
hey man.
And then I got in the Cavs versus Knicks. I got the Knicks in 7. I just feel like I feel like this is their year. They got swindled by the Pacers last year. They're going to make it this year.
This is their year to lose in the finals, you mean?
Yeah.
If they don't make it this year, they're never – if they can't beat Detroit in the finals.
Inevitably, I do have the Thunder winning back-to-back, which NBA champion hasn't went back-to-back since – I think it was the Warriors in, 16, 17? Is that right, Jacob? Or was it 15, 16?
No, I believe that's right.
17,
18. 17, 18, I think.
17, 18. So the odds are definitely against the Thunder, statistic-wise, but I do think the Thunder are just the best team in this tournament.
If not this team to do it, then who else? I mean, they're like
the Spurs. I think
the
winner.
I agree.
I think the winner comes out of the West, personally.
Yeah. And
kind of
also sorry to be boring on the third
also JJ.
Podcast, but we all
I did want to point out, JJ, every single one of your rounds were like in 6 or 7 games. Like you love basketball. You just want the most games possible.
Yeah, I'm just a fan. You know, that's what it is. It's not that I'm a bad analyst. It's not that I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not that I don't have much ball knowledge on the NBA. I'm just a believer. I'm just a fan. I just love.
He wants to see as much basketball possible. He wants this thing to be drug out to freaking July.
Yeah, amen. I mean, who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? Not a big NBA fan like me. I want it to be drawn out. So, why are you laughing?
So, I love it, man. I still can't get over like. I feel like the worst prediction in this podcast, short history so far, is the Lakers winning 2 games against OKC.
No.
I feel like that's as bad as we've had.
Kenyon Sadiq, 9 to the Chiefs. It will forever live horribly. It will be the worst.
So, has your jersey come in yet?
Not yet. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on him to get his number settled, and then we get it in.
Wait, you're waiting. You're waiting on him get that gold jacket when he goes to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah. I'll probably wait on that one.
All right. Well,
anyways, I got OKC going as well. I think OKC Spurs is the one that everyone had circled honestly since probably like December. To be honest, like this is the conference finals everyone wants to see. Maybe not everyone. Like like you said, maybe if the Lakers are healthy, I think it'd be awesome to see that team like with Luka playing that situation. But without the Lakers being healthy, we want to watch the best two teams in the NBA play. And I'm not discounting Minnesota. Minnesota could win that series, but I think that's the series we're going to get. I think OKC, with the more experience, I think they get them in 6 this year. I think that there's going to be a lot of close games, and I think in those situations, I trust OKC and Shea a little more because they've been there. I can just picture it right now. It's like a 102 to 102 game with like 2 minutes left, and then OKC hits more shots at the end of the game and they win. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they win in 6 and like 3 of their 4 wins are like in those type of situations,
Right.
where it's like a close game at the end and they close it out with the experience. I think it's going to be a really close series. So I don't say 6 to be like you can have a series. You could have a series end in 5 games. It was like really competitive. It's just about, sometimes it's about who wins the close games and closes them out. I kind of get that vibes. Like, it's going to be a close games, but I just think OKC kind of overwhelms them and wins in the big moments. Get them in 6. Then I got Detroit and the Knicks again. If the Knicks cannot be, and this isn't disrespect to Detroit. This is just like Detroit is punching up. Like, they're playing above what they have roster-wise, and like they're kind of ahead. The fact that they got the 1 seed this year and won over 60 games is shout out to everybody involved. And if they make the conference finals, that is the definition of a successful season. It is already a successful season. If they beat Cleveland, which looks like they're well on their way to doing, that is, from where they were 2 years ago to now, is unbelievable. And Bickerstaff and that front office and all those players involved deserve tons of credit. But with that being said, New York has to win that series. Like, this is a team that has been together for 2 years now in full. A lot of those guys have been together for, 4 or 5 years now. They've made the playoffs every year. They haven't went to the finals yet. Got run out by the Pacers last year in the conference finals, a team that a lot of people thought they should beat, which the Pacers ended up kind of give like some Timberwolves vibes of like they kind of got disrespected. They're a lot better team than people thought until we saw them play OKC. Then we're like, oh shoot, like this team's really good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like Halliburton, again, not to get off track, but I think New York gets them. But I don't think New York has enough to beat OKC. I think that I don't even see it being like, I think they'll play well in that stage. Like, I expect Brunson to be great. It's a lot of veterans on that team. It's a lot of guys like in the prime of their career, like guys who are really good. Like, I just think that it's just a roster that they're just kind of overmatched a little bit, man. So I think OKC gets it done as well.
Yeah. In conclusion, we all think the Thunder are going to take it back to back. Man, it is the Knicks' year to lose in the championship.
They got to win the East, man. They got to get out of the East this year.
They got to. But that's our takes. Hope you guys enjoyed the Would You Rather. Hope you guys enjoyed our playoff predictions. Let us know if you guys have any other thoughts, like ideas of what you guys want us to do. But yeah, this is unless there's anything else you guys want to say, I'm going to sign us off.
I'm good, man.
All right. Excited for the NBA playoffs. It was fun.
That's right.
Lakers in 7.
Lakers in 7. Lakers in 7. All right. Hey, this is the Third and Wrong podcast. Thank you so much for watching. We are signing off for now. See you guys in the next one.